Once again, we're back. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood, the Goat Talk podcast. Man, oh man, oh man, what a week it has been. We want to thank everybody for once again tuning into the Goat Talk podcast. I am one of the goats, Heaven Hollywood. This is Sunday, December 19th, almost at the end of the year. And of course, as usual, I cannot do the Goat Talk podcast with just one goat. Always have to have the second goat with me. And as always, Goat Alexis, good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good, good. We've had a long, crazy week, busy week. We recorded podcasts, had to re-record podcasts when other news came. It was just this week with this whole situation was just filled with stories and recanting of stories and changing of stories and evidence missing. Well, we're gonna get into everything because we got a lot to cover with this situation. So, are you ready?
I am ready. I'm ready to go ahead and get into this.
Ooh, this is so too much. So, as everybody knows, Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez was back in court, and this was the preliminary hearing. So this is not the trial yet or what have you. It's just a preliminary hearing. And what preliminary hearings are usually used for is just to see if there is enough evidence or enough confusion, as I like to say, for the judge to decide to take this to court. At the end of the day, there was. So the judge did decide that these charges are going to be upheld. So that right there lets you know out the gate that there is enough evidence to make people believe that Megan Thee Stallion was shot. So let's start off by eliminating she wasn't shot. Because if she wasn't shot, they would have said, nah, we're throwing this out. All right. So there was obviously enough evidence for them to take this to trial. So it started out mostly everyone was tuned in on Twitter because I'm going to be honest with you, go to Lexus. I don't know whether you remember. I totally forgot about these two. I had blocked them out of my mind. I had totally forgot about these two. And then I got reminded by Nancy Dillon, um, a reporter from Rolling Stone. And she was kind of giving the play by play. Did you remember they were going to court?
Yeah, I remember the whole thing. I knew they were going to court. I didn't forget. Anytime I see Meg, unfortunately, I remember the case. So that's
Oh,
really
man.
all I really. It became her identity somehow. So
Ooh, that's not good.
that's not good. Exactly.
That's not good when you know when you're out here and you're as successful as Meg's been and as beautiful as Meg's been, representing beautiful black women, successful, and then the first thing you think about is the case. Ooh, that's not good. So Nancy Dillon, the reporter, her first tweet was, "We're outside the courtroom where Tory Lanez is set to have his preliminary hearing in his felony assault case alleging he shot Megan Thee Stallion in her feet after a party last year. Tory is here." Now, that party, of course, meaning the Kylie Jenner party that they were at, they got invited to. Um, her first tweet after that, we're gonna go over tweet by tweet, and we're gonna break these tweets down for you. An intoxicated Tory Lanez allegedly shouted "Dance B" before shooting at the feet of Megan Thee Stallion, according to testimony from LAPD detective Ryan Stogner, who interviewed Megan after the incident. So now, as far as the dance, from what I'm going to tell you, then you can tell me what you think. The "Dance B" to me, first of all, Ryan Stogner was not there, so how can he say that Tory said "Dance B"? We know that there was 4 people there. We know that Kelsey didn't tell him that. We know that the other witness didn't tell him that. And we know that Tory didn't tell him that. So the only way that he knows that is in her testimony. Megan, in my opinion, had to have told that detective that Tory said that to her. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yes, of course. Yes, yes, you're breaking it down perfectly. So I'm gonna let you do it.
All right. So to me, Megan must have told him that because it did come out later on in the court. Yeah, I am looking at it now. It did come out later on in the court that she asked. So no one else heard Tory say this. This is what the defense lawyer asked. So no one else heard Tory say this except Megan, and then the cop said correct. So Megan definitely told him that. All right. The next tweet she put out, she said, hold on. That was according to Megan. Blah, blah, blah. So let's take a look at the thread because there is a thread here, a full thread, unless she deleted the thread. I don't think she would have. Let's see here. After that, she did say that hold on, it's done. So after that, she then said,
Yeah, it's so weird because I couldn't find the tweet you're looking for. I couldn't find it
yeah,
either.
I think that I don't know whether she deleted her thread, you know, because it was a full thread, before, right? About the next tweet said that a fight, we'll pretty much paraphrase it, an argument ensued in the car when it was revealed that Megan and Tory was involved in an intimate relationship. So after finding that out, an argument occurred between Megan and her friend or ex-friend Kelsey. Um, the next tweet after that said Kelsey had a romantic interest. Okay, he had a romantic interest. Okay, so here's the thread. All right. The first witness in Tory Lane's preliminary was the LAPD officer Sandra Cabral. All right. She responded to shots fired investigation. Says Megan was in a panic and frantic. Says firearm found on the Lane's passenger seat was warm to the touch. Now, this is what Sandra Cabral is saying. She felt the gun, warm to the touch, suggesting the firearm had been used. All right. So you have to remember, it's some moments after they've got the call, now that they come and do the investigation. So the gun did have, people saying, oh, it'd be more than warm. No, depending on how long it took for them to get there, the gun at this point, if it's underneath the passenger seat, it's now cooled down. Has
Exactly,
cooled
and
down.
for folks saying, "Oh, it'll be more than warm," it's not an automatic gun. I heard it was a 22, so no, it wouldn't. It was being described as exactly what would have happened. I don't know why people want to put 10 on 2. That's not true.
Yeah, I think it's just people again who want to they want Megan to be lying. So then Tory Lane's defense lawyer Sean Holly questioned Stogner on dispute. And let's real quickly go over Sean Holly is a big time defensive lawyer. Like I don't even know how I know Tory Lane's got some money, but this woman when she was younger was, a part she was under Johnny Cochran. So she got mentored by Johnny Cochran. So, she's a big time lawyer. She has been a lawyer for Kim Kardashian, for and other different celebrities. So just keep that in mind. Um, Stogner on dispute that led up to the shooting. She said argument in car escalated when it was revealed Tory and Megan had been in some sort of intimate relationship. Holly said the other woman in the car, Megan's former assistant friend, who had a romantic interest in Tory. So the way that sounds like Tory didn't have a romantic interest in her. What is that fair to say by that wording?
Yeah, and by the way, he's like he had his lawyer explain it. He's saying that basically Kelsey and him never even had anything going on. She just was interested into him.
Mm. Okay, so because people are trying to, oh yeah, they were fighting over Tory, or he was smashing both, or Kelsey was on him first. I mean, there is no proof that Kelsey and Tory ever had anything. Even when you listen to the records, it was like, eh. There was one record where he said, me and your girl, had something, but wasn't that big of a deal. Somewhere along those lines. I'm just paraphrasing, but it made it seem like it wasn't like him and Megan, right? So that's another thing. Interests. People looked right over that. Had a romantic. They say, see, he was smashing them both. No, who had a romantic interest in Tory. Notice when they mentioned Megan, they said Tory and Megan had been in some type of intimate relationship. Now, if Tory was in an intimate relationship with Kelsey, they would have said when Megan's friend, who also was in an intimate relationship with Tory, became jealous and claimed Megan backdoored her. So it sounds like to me that Kelsey was just interested in Tory. All right. Now, Holly suggested Tory later told police, I was just trying to protect my girl. Holly suggested, so that means the defense lawyer. So obviously, this is what Tory has told the defensive lawyer that he has said, because there's no way she'd be able to bring that up. Holly suggested, Tory later told police, I was just trying to protect my girl. She asked Detective Stogner if he knew about that statement, citing the police body cam footage.
Hold on, let me pause you real quick. Because you say my girl, then we already discussed what terms the lawyers are using. So he said when it comes to Kelsey, she was just interested in that he had a past relationship, whether that be intimate or whatever it was with Megan. So who was he trying to protect, or who is he trying to say he was protecting? Was he trying to protect Meg? And I'll say, and
I believe Meg.
yeah, I'm gonna present this question because you got a point you're gonna say later on down the line, and that's when I'm gonna present this question. But go ahead and keep going because this is gonna get interesting.
Okay, so here we go. Um, Side police footage. Judge Keith Borgen just said he finds probable cause to send Tory Lanez to trial, ordered him back January 13th. Now that was the end of her tweets. Now, after her tweets, the very next day, when there was no court, all of some more things started coming out. All right. Lane's attorney, Sean Holly, alleges that the bullet fragments that were reportedly taken from Megan's ankles cannot be located. So, um, Tory Lane's attorney said that the bullet fragments that were reportedly taken from Megan's ankles cannot be located. Okay. Um, that in itself is strange. When you heard that, what was your first thought?
That's important. I don't know how weak this case is without the fragments. I don't even know if it matters. From day one, when they took the fragments out of her foot, they never really labeled it as gun fragments. They said it was an object or what the case may be. I don't know what they do with those things when they take it out. Just
Sharp and all, I believe
yeah,
they said.
and that
Mm.
could have been, anything. So that's one benefit of the doubt that Tory does have. But I will restate this, that it doesn't really matter to me because rather she was legitimately shot or the bullet ricocheted or whatnot. If she was still shot at, that's my point at the end of the day.
Okay. And I agree with you. Um, Here's a statement. According to reports, Megan allegedly got into an argument with another woman prior to the shooting, suggested to be her former best friend Kelsey Nicole. Today in court, it was revealed that an independent witness reported to the LEPD that he observed a fight breakout. Now, originally, Megan's story said four people in the car: me, my homegirl, Tory, and Tory's security. So when this says here, and LAPD says the witness says I automatically assume this is the security guard. All right. So because there was only four people there that could have possibly saw it, he observed a fight breakout between the two women in the car just prior to the shooting. Megan herself corroborated this account, telling officers shortly after the incident that the argument was between her and the other female passenger in the car. The independent witness also told officers that the muzzle flash was closest to the other female, which is corroborated by the gunshot residue found on the other female's hands. It was further established that Megan gave several inconsistent accounts of what happened that night and that she omitted key information to the police. We look forward to the opportunity to cross examine her at trial about the numerous inconsistencies in her story. Now, I'm going to pause right there because a lot of people are saying this. Oh, Megan's changing her story. I think they should talk to G from Spill the Sugar. Okay, G from Spill the Sugar back in the days was sexually assaulted by someone in the music industry. Okay, she was also highly intoxicated and high. Her admittance. She has reported that she gave four different stories to the police because as you start to kind of remember, you're intoxicated and you're high. So she's like, every day or every 2 days, stuff is starting to come back to me that I left out. That's what happens when you're intoxicated, people. That does not mean Megan the Stallion is lying. Just because this is a person who experienced something similar, and she said, I have four different statements to the police. And they didn't hold it against me. I'm letting them know. Oh, I remember now. I remember this. Oh, now I remember this. You know what I mean? So that's what happens when you're intoxicated. Am I? Do you think I'm giving Meg too much the benefit of the doubt, or I'm only saying that because another person that was in a situation similar said that. Do you think that I'm giving Meg too much the benefit of the doubt?
No, I'm gonna say why I don't think so. Like in a moment when once you down like done breaking down the court that just happened, then I'll break down my opinion on why. Because I don't think she changed her story that many times. She
Yeah.
changed it once, and that's when she admitted that she didn't step on glass and that she was shot at and shot by Tory Lanez. That's
Right.
really the only time she really changed her story. And then you have people who was literally listening to every single word she said from that point on and
Right.
really making it more than what it was and changing up her stories. And then you have bloggers who's done that. They would switch up her words and then paint it as her changing her story. But she's been ever since she admitted that Tory was the one who shot her, she's been
Hmm.
very consistent with her story. So, other than when she said that she didn't step on glass, everything else is up for the public's interpretation because in a video you could see that blood was coming from both of her feet. It wasn't
Hmm.
just from one foot. You saw the footprints on the street.
Right.
Clearly, something happened. You feel what I'm saying? But
Right.
then people saw the wounds and said, "Well, that's not bulletproof. I mean, bullet wounds. Those are just scars." And even when I
Right.
saw the one on her left foot was it was a scar. It was deep, and it was obviously something more than glass can cause.
Right.
And then the other foot she had a little scratches on it. But I want to reiterate this: anytime you watch a show, a movie, or anything, or first 48, I saw somebody get grazed, and even though the person said he was grazed, the cop did say he was shot, but it
Right.
was a grazed wound. So whether you want to, however you want to interpret it, something happened to Meg the Stallion, and that's the only person I'm willing to listen to in this case as of now, because I'm not that picky like other people. People don't like Meg the Stallion for their own reasons. They're constantly talking mess about her. I
Right.
don't have those feelings for Megan, so I'm not going to sit
Me
here
neither.
and act like something that she's claiming happened to her didn't happen. I'm not going to do that. And I found it weird. I find it 100% weird the way people are treating a victim. Because whether you believe she was shot straight up, can you not admit that something happened?
Yep, I totally agree with you, Alexis. Totally agree with you. And I just don't get it. Like I don't understand how we've gotten to the point where, like I always said, social media is a gift and a curse. I mean, it's what's happened is it's made everybody a damn expert. Now everybody's an expert on bullet wounds. Everybody's an expert on body language. Everybody's an expert on, oh, she did this story and that story, and oh, how, and the projection of the bullet. Everybody now is a damn expert that was not even there. We're not there. So if she is given an account of a story that happened, like I've always said, regardless of whether you feel as though she changed her story or not, she is the only story that we have. Because the other two or other three people are trying to play hush hush and give subliminal messages and
Exactly.
cryptic messages. And man, we
Exactly.
don't want to hear all that. We don't want to hear all that because Tory Lanez had ample enough time the moment that that Kelsey came out and said, I wasn't the one with the gun. Tory should have said right there, well, what are you trying to imply?
He couldn't,
Because
because what he was doing, people got to realize after the shooting,
Mhm.
people got to realize how quiet Tory was and how long he was quiet for. Am I wrong? And usually
Right.
when that happens, you're being quiet like that because you're looking for an attorney and
Mm,
you're looking for somebody to tell you what to say, what not to say, what you can say, what you can't
mm,
say.
that's a
And
good point.
once his name got too hot, where people were like, okay, this guy, he needs to be canceled. That's when he finally makes a statement, and he's not even making statements, you guys. He's just making. So she said, "I was shot." She wasn't shot. That didn't happen. It's like, what happened? Why is she the only one telling us what happened? If you're so innocent, give us play by play what happened that night.
Right.
If you're so innocent, because if I'm an innocent person, if I'm innocent, I'm straight up going on the internet and I'm telling y'all I'm going on
Exactly.
live.
Damn, I don't care nothing about no, oh, you shouldn't be saying it. Nah, nah, nah.
Nah, nah,
I don't have nothing
exactly.
to hide. I don't have nothing
Exactly.
to hide, and I'm gonna say what happened because and I don't want to hear nothing about no. Oh, he didn't want to snitch. Well, Kelsey sure wasn't protecting him. Kelsey was if Kelsey pretty much said I didn't shoot Megan. So who's that leave?
Kelsey said
Yeah,
she didn't have the gun.
yeah. She said I didn't shoot Megan because I wasn't the one with the gun. That was her initial statement on a tweet. The very first person to say anything. And remember, I guess from I don't know whether he was told. Remember, I think it was either her hairdresser or one of her producers came out and said, "Tory Lanez, you're going down."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was saying, Tori, you're going down. Tori, you're going down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody. And I want you to say what happened with the security guard, because the security guard was detained that night.
Mm-hmm.
And
The,
he later came out, or it was a rumor. I believe it was a security guard. He said that Tory and Kelsey, they were fighting for the gun, and it went off. And the
right.
witness in this case said that the muffle or muzzle, whatever you call it, was closer than to Kelsey than it
Kelsey
was
then was
Tory.
Tory.
So that would kind of confirm that story, that they were tussling for that gun, or like Tory said, I was trying to protect my girl. What against what? Did Kelsey have the
Right.
gun and you ran up to her and y'all was fighting over it and it went off? And now and Meg, who was walking away, who had the gun? Okay, this would make more sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Kelsey is trying to fight Megan over Tory, and Tory is like, well, I'm dealing with Megan. And that's why Kelsey was really mad that night. And Tory was trying to break up a fight. He had a gun on him, and Kelsey perhaps saw it, was fighting him over it, and it went off.
Right.
What really happened? You know what I'm saying? That would
Right.
only make sense to me. And that's why Meg is so upset with Kelsey. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And she don't really F with Tory, because at the end of the day, this whole situation got me messed up at the end of the day. And if you watch the TMZ video, it's a TMZ video. Maybe you could find it for people could watch it real quick. There's a TMZ video where Kelsey is asking Meg over and over, "Hey, are you okay? Are you okay?" Like, she keeps
Mm.
asking her the
Yep, she
question.
asked her that. And if she shot Megan, don't you think Megan would have been on response like, "Yo, get away from me"?
You're right.
You know what? You know, I mean, she would have been saying, "Oh, now again,
She was
she
straight up
was
ignoring
intoxicated.
her.
She was straight up ignoring her. She was intoxicated. Now, I'm not going to rule out that Megan turned around. Maybe she felt as though maybe she did see Tory. Maybe again, you have to take into account she was highly intoxicated. Highly intoxicated. They was drinking 1402 or 402, whatever the heck it's called, and that is some strong tequila from what I hear. So um they was drinking that. They're all intoxicated. So maybe she felt it. Maybe she turned around and she saw Tory taking the gun from Kelsey. So that could have been what it was. She could have had seen Tory taking the gun from Kelsey. Um, but again, the most important thing people want to keep saying, "Oh, she's lying on Tory." No, it's not going to come. She and once it comes out that she's lying on Tory, she should go to jail. Megan Thee Stallion is not going to jail,
Listen, listen. This far into the case, we would have already known she lied. It would have never
right?
made it this far. It would
Thank
have
you,
never been taken to trial.
thank you. I mean,
if
and
she lied. If
right,
Tory had any evidence that this girl lied, he would have presented that in
thank
that
you.
courtroom.
Exactly. So um and remember something uh something happened because Tory said in his own record, you know who harmed you.
So
Remember,
it looked
who
like to me,
harmed you.
let me say something. I got 2 points to make. One, it looks like to me he's putting the blame on Kelsey. And from the beginning, he was dressing it up like he wanted to, because he wanted her to be quiet. He's making
Mhm.
songs about the incident, saying, "You know who really hurt you." He's in the
Mhm.
courtroom saying, "Well, the muzzle, she had gunshot residue on her. They were the ones arguing. I'm not really involved with Kelsey because we're not intimate. Yeah, I was intimate with Meg the Stallion, but I have nothing to do with that." So it looks to me he's throwing Kelsey under the bus. And people, they've been on standby waiting for Kelsey to say something. What if the reason she's not saying anything is because she's really the one who pulled that trigger? And
Mm.
listen, let me say something. I've been around drunk men and I've been around drunk women. Yeah, man could be angry. Yeah, man could do stupid shit. But women, what we do, we get a little bit too emotional. And if you're
Right.
mixing that with feelings, you're mixing that with anger and liquor, you're
Right.
gonna do something really stupid. So what if she did shoot that gun because she got a little too emotional? She just wanted to prove her point, because it sounds to me Kelsey that night had no standing. She had absolutely no standing. She's about to lose her best friend because she's tripping about a man that she's not even having sex with. She's looking like a lame ass in front of this man,
Right.
Tory. And there was a rumor that something that night was stolen.
Mhm.
I don't know what it was, but it was a rumor that night that something was stolen. I would really like to
Mm.
know exactly what that was, but we'll. This is something. It was a rumor. It never got
Right.
confirmed, but I wonder in court will this be brought up? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because it was
Right.
always just a rumor, but I'm curious as to what really happened that night. Because it seems like to me now, Kelsey is the one looking more and more guilty to me. And It's one thing if Meg really believed Tory shot her because yeah, he had the gun. It was his gun. It was underneath his seat. It's his gun at the end of the day, right? She's walking
Correct.
away. She doesn't really know who shot her, right?
Right.
But if it was really Kelsey and it wasn't Tory, the only person who's going to look bad out of all of this is guess who?
Mm,
Kelsey.
right.
So we'll see. The way it sounded like to me now, even though it's Tory's gun, it should have never been brought out during any cat fight. Was he the one who eventually pulled the trigger? In his defense, it sounds like that's what he's going to say happened. He's going to put it on Kelsey. It seems like his
Wow.
security guard is already dressed up to testify against Kelsey that she was the one with the gunshot residue. That gun went off closer to her than it was Tory. By the way, for him to say that, they had to be next to each other, right?
Absolutely. And the security guard is such an interesting portion. Before I get into him, I do want to address people are taking this. Oh, it was the doctor says it was a superficial wound. I knew she was lying. I think people have to pump the brakes and just simply go look up superficial when it's used in the term coming from doctors and surgeons and police. You're thinking of the superficial term as using as a term of someone is superficial, right? You're not looking into it. Superficial does not mean there was no wound. Okay, it does not mean that. When they say it's a superficial wound, it's really just saying what Megan the Stallion said it was. It did not break tendons or bones. It was simply a flesh wound. That's what a superficial wound is. It doesn't mean it didn't happen, people. It just means that it was a flesh wound, right? So I just wanted to get that out there, for people. Um, so this security guard, right? Superficial on the surface wounds and abrasions leave the deeper skin layers intact. Okay. Now it said it just says in abrasions leaves the deeper skin layers attached. Now it doesn't go through all the layers of the skin and into underlying tissue like muscle or bone, which is exactly what Megan said. All right.
Right.
Now, um, the security guard is very, very interesting because um, there was an audio. What happened was first there was people saying, Tory was out during this whole thing, and then there was a guy spotted with him, and people were saying that was the security guard from that night. I would like to say since that the internet pointed the finger at him, I have not seen that man with Tory Lanez since. That's the first thing. The second thing is there was an audio that came out, right?
Right.
There was an audio that came out where this alleged security guard told a story of what happened that night. And at the time that he told it, a lot of people were like, that's not confirmed to be him. You know, it's not confirmed to be him. We don't know. Could just be somebody capping. Um, I'm gonna try to find that because when you look at the evidence of what was said now in court, right? And now you match that with what the security guard, the alleged security guard said. It kind of matches.
Right.
Okay, it kind of matches. So I'm gonna see if I can find this audio because I want to find the audio and not people giving commentary about the audio and like that. So that's what I was trying to find. But this in this audio, this the alleged security guard said um that Tory and Kelsey was arguing over the gun, was fighting over the gun.
Right.
Right? They were fighting over the gun. And it broke out because now according to him, he said because it was found out that night that Tory was messing with both of them. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can at least get what they said here. So yeah, all these things off of Instagram, the alleged audio and stuff like that has all been they're no longer on Instagram. You like can't find it anymore, which is probably smart. But we all heard it and it's still out there somewhere, right? And he basically said they found out about each other. They got into some sort of argument. Um, Megan started arguing with Kelsey. Now remember, girls are, and I'll tell you something. I know Houston girls, and I don't want to put it all on all of them, but I know about three of them,
Mm-hmm.
three Houston girls, and all three of them, when they're highly intoxicated, they will turn up and pull a gun on somebody. They quit to pull a gun on somebody now. Them Houston chicks will turn up and pull a gun on you in a minute. I dated two Houston chicks, and both of them pulled a gun on me at some point.
Right.
So, um,
I don't think that happened because Meg would have said it was her, not Tory. You know what I'm saying? Unless she really for sure
unless Nick,
lying, like people
right,
saying.
right, unless she's just lying and don't want and was just trying to frame Tory instead of uh Megan. Let me see
But you,
something
to
here.
me, you have to prove to me that Meg is that big of a liar.
Yeah, me too. I cannot. I I just can't do that. I'm gonna have to now. Now, granted, if it comes out at the end of the day, because I just figured the way I look at it as this girl's under Rock Nation. She got Rock Nation behind her. Her career finally popped off. Is she really gonna throw all that away for Tory Lanez or for anybody? This is her lifelong dream. She fulfilled what her the dream her mother wanted for her. And you think she's gonna go and just make up this lie? I mean, that's crazy to me.
She was
You
clearly,
know,
in my opinion, she was clearly shot at. So I ain't. She ain't lying about that. Now, who shot her? Who
right,
shot her is a whole different story. I can't wait to, for this whole case to be over because that's the big question mark on this entire thing is who shot her.
right. Me, I can pretty much say that I feel strongly that somebody shot her. Okay, let me see if this is the audio. More than likely, the audio has been deleted, and they probably hold on a minute.
Oh yeah, people forget about this. Kelsey, she made a diss song to Meg
Hold
called
on.
"Shots Fired." I just
Can
want
you
to
hear
make
that?
that. No, I can't hear nothing.
Hold on. Okay, hold on a minute. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to play the audio. You have to let me know
Mm-hmm.
whether
I'm
you hear it or
outside.
not.
My weapon
Can
is
you hear
in the
that?
car.
Yeah,
Tory and they get to arguing.
You
this
can
is
hear it?
perfect. Yeah, it's perfect.
At the pool still. Tory and the girl in the car start arguing. Meg walk out because she find out such and such. Tory been messing with both of the women in the car. You know how that go already. Tory got in trouble. Meg hops out the car. Tory and the girl fighting over the gun. Excuse me.
Dude, burping
Tory
on.
and the girl fighting over the gun. The gun accidentally goes off in the midst of them fighting for it, and the girl shoots, and the bullet accidentally gets near Megan. That's why it didn't hit no tendon because it grazed her. It didn't actually hit her. She's lying like it hit her. Everybody, I'm outside. My
So
weapon is in the car.
so basically what he said was he's outside, his weapon is in the car,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, now his story sound believable until he burped. Once he burped, I stopped believing him. You know, are you serious? once that Negro burped, I said, I believe that's why I forgot all about this dude. Because I believe I was listening and I'm like, okay, sounds plausible. And then he burped. I said, nah, this Negro lying. but um and one the only other thing about his story is he made it seem like they were in Kylie's driveway and they were not.
Right.
So he didn't say they left. He said, I got out of my car, right? So he makes it seem like he didn't say and clear up, okay, we leave Kylie's house. This is what he should have thrown in. Because that's why after this audio, a whole bunch of people who for some reason want the two things that people want more than anything, they want Meg to be lying and they want Kylie Jenner to somehow be involved. Kylie Jenner was not involved, people. She kicked Megan and them out because they were making a little too much noise. It was getting late, and from what I'm assuming, Megan was yelling outside of Kylie's house, and Kylie basically, from the story that I got, sent her security guard out there to tell Megan and Tory to beat it. Right now, Megan, from what I was told, and was started yelling and screaming like, "Oh, so you're too good to come out here and tell me." So she kind of got pissed off, and this is the reason why Kylie unfollowed Megan. This is the reason why she's not following Megan. She's not following Tory. She's not following none of them. Right?
Right.
So people like, oh, the initial story was, oh, Kylie gave Tory the lawyer. No, no, she did not. Kylie was not. Tory wasn't even invited. Tory was not even invited. He
Right.
came there with Megan, so he wasn't invited. Anyway, she has no. She is in the clear. She told him to leave. Because trust me, if she was involved, her name would have came back up in this court case. It was saying where it took place at her on her premises. So, but the story that the security guard is telling sounds pretty close
Right.
to what they're saying happened in court. So is now we're gonna play devil's advocate. We got to because what we are first and foremost. We're on the side of truth. We're not on the side of anybody. We're on the side of truth. So now, where does if this happens, where does the dance bitch dance come in? Is she lying about that? Is she just you know throwing that in? Because there would be if they're arguing over the gun, there's no reason for him to say dance, bitch, dance. And then the phone call that they're saying he called to apologize to Kelsey for shooting Megan. No, that's not what that uh, phone call, some of that conversation entailed. He basically was apologizing to Kelsey, saying, "I was drunk. I'm sorry I did that." And that's why he yelled out to the DA or whatever, "Why don't you tell everybody what I was apologizing for?" That's when they said that's when he launched out in court, and that's the only time he launched out, because it seemed like he had enough of it, and he said, "Why don't you tell them what I was apologizing for? This don't make no sense." And they said he was very upset at that. Um, listen, man, I had I believe what happened, and then I'm gonna let you close it out. I believe what happened is this. Um, I believe Tory shows up at this spot with Kylie. I mean, with Megan to Kylie's house. If you go back to the video footage, Megan was already ticked off at Tory. Remember when Tory swims up behind him and she's like, "Tory, don't get my phone wet," and she's like rolling her eyes at him, like she could tell she was already annoyed with him. Right? That's
Mhm.
probably because of all the flirting he was doing with Kylie. Now, from what I'm getting, because him and Kelsey, sure Megan knew Kelsey was interested, but I'm getting from because him and Kelsey was on the low, she wasn't really up on Tory like that at Kylie's. Megan sees him flirting with Kylie. Megan starts getting jealous, right? Um, Kelsey notices that Megan's getting jealous, and Kelsey's like, "Why the hell are you mad?" She probably hears something. What I believe is, if you see someone like Kylie Jenner, the status of Kylie Jenner, and you see Tory up on Kylie, I'm gonna say because she's intoxicated, Megan made some sort of notion like her and Tory are messing around. Get over here, pull them, trying to prove that that's it. Hell, may even grab them and kiss them. Who knows? You know what I mean? Just to prove, you know what I mean? Like this you here, you and me.
I just feel like that whole night was a fail for Tory, no matter what's going on right now. Because you
Right,
already know Callie is with Travis. Callie is
right,
with Travis Scott. And Travis Scott and Tory got beef. They don't fuck with
mm,
each other.
right,
So
absolutely.
either way it goes, I don't even believe that I don't even think that that Kylie would have went for Tory. So I don't think Meg got jealous that he was flirting with Kylie, because I don't think Kylie was even flirting back if that was the case.
No,
And
I
I
don't
don't
think
even think
Kylie was flirting back either. But if you're drunk and you can clearly see, and then let's not hold any punches. It is a Kardashian, even though her last name is Jenner, and then we do have the whole white black dumb animal. Oh, so this you think this bitch is better than me? I mean, you do have that dynamic. Um, so you pushing up on this chick, you have me. What the f you flirting with this chick for? I mean, and like I said, that all gets enhanced when you're intoxicated. Those things come out. Oh, here they go again. So you pushing up on this white bitch, and you with me in front of me, you gonna be that disrespectful? You know me and you messing around? Yeah, I can see her getting mad over that. Even because I don't think Kylie was flirting. I think Kylie was just being Kylie. Just sitting there chilling with him, talking with him, talking, chilling, whatever. I don't think she was flirting back at all. I just think Kylie was just being Kylie. And then she saw this, and I could definitely see Megan getting jealous over that. Um Man. So I believe they took it outside. She was yelling. Kylie made them leave. It was getting kind of late. They get into the argument as they're pulling away from a house. 'Cause remember, it wasn't that far away from a house, a couple of miles or what have you. And now it's out that she's been messing with Tory. Kelsey knows. Kelsey may even asked Megan before, "Yo, you mess around with Tory?" Megan probably said, "No, I want that. Why I want that short nigga? Come on, look at me and look at him. I want with Tory." You know,
Right.
trying to play it off. She made me even asked her before, and then she made a comment of, "This is not the first time you got up on a dude that I was got up on first." I mean, there was rumors that she just rumors. There was rumors that Kelsey pressed up on Trey's song first, which I didn't believe that rumor because it's all out there in social media how thirsty Trey Songz was for Megan Thee Stallion. He wasn't talking about Kelsey. He was talking about Megan Thee Stallion.
Right.
Right. So man, and I just believe that I don't know, man. I don't know. I
It's
know
just so weird. This
it's
whole
just
story is
weird.
just so weird. It has more
Right.
chapters than a Harry Potter book. But I just know at the end of the day, something happened to Meg.
Something
Because
happened to
because
Megan.
even Kelsey, she did kind of say something. She put out a whole song called "Bustin' Back," and
Hmm.
she said shots were fired. She said, it wasn't me though. So
Right.
something happened, bro.
Something
A
happened.
gun went off. A gun went
Yep.
off at the end of the day. People
Absolutely.
can't deny it. People are getting, they're getting distracted by different stories being put out there. But at the end of the day, one thing you can't deny is that Megan was shot at.
Thank you.
Period. Now,
So
is
then
Meg,
she's a victim. If she's
yes,
shot at,
period. She's a
she's a
victim.
victim.
And what's going on now for people who are just tuning in, who are just watching right now, what's going on right now in court case right now is that Tory is now pointing his finger 100% at Kelsey,
Yep.
1000%. His witnesses that he called to the stand, they're pointing their finger at Kelsey.
Yep.
She had gunshot residue on her. Now, what does that mean for Kelsey? I don't know. If Tory is found not guilty, in my opinion, I'm not going to sit here now. What would you do, Heaven? He's found not guilty. Do you forgive Tory? In my opinion, yes, because I don't know what happened. I
Right.
don't know what happened. And Kelsey, in hindsight, she's looking funny as fuck to me. She's the
Right.
only person that has nothing to lose if she said what happened that night.
Hmm.
She's the
And
only
she still
person
won't
in
say anything.
and she still
Uh,
won't say a thing. So I'm not gonna if he's found not guilty, I haven't really listened. I don't really listen to Tory Lanez. I'm not gonna act like I'm a fan of his, but he does have this ice cream shop in Miami, Florida. I love me some ice cream. I would go try everything on that menu. No cap, no bullshit. I have nothing against Tory Lanez. The only thing I have against him is this case because I feel like any nigga who would shoot a gun at a woman who's unarmed at that is pussy. But
right.
I will also say I don't know what happened that night. And all this is just too funny. I ain't never read a full Harry Potter book. So you could just kind of imagine how I feel about this whole entire case. But it's now that more facts are coming out, my main concern is who shot her, who brought the gun out, who did it. And in my opinion, Tory got something to lose because he's the one charged.
Right.
He's the one
Now
being blamed.
he's the one being charged and blamed. And let's not forget, even if it comes out that he did not shoot Megan, he was still carrying an unregistered gun when he was on probation. So he's going to get a charge.
Yeah, that's another thing people are forgetting. Tory.
Yep.
But I think Tory, in this case, if he really is innocent, he is just looking more towards getting his name cleared in the shooting. I don't think he
Yeah.
really cares about having his gun and being home probation because that's a different case. But being accused of shooting a woman and having a woman really think that,
Right.
but also Tiana Taylor's stylist, EJ King, She's known him for years. He's really known in the industry. He's really popular. And he had a text message that I think he's the one who leaked it to TMZ. It was in quotes saying that I apologize, tell Megan I apologize, or something to that extent. And it's also rumored that in a police phone call that he was apologizing about something. It can't be used as evidence because they don't know what exactly he was apologizing for.
Right.
So, bruh, what were you apologizing for?
Right. Um, another thing, really quickly, the the I'm not sure. I'll have to look this up. Um, but being a victim, I thought, even though the attorney Holly said I'm looking forward to cross-examining her, um, I thought that being a victim, it's pretty much your call whether you want to come to court or not. I'd heard that, and I know they can subpoena everyone else, but since the state took it over, I thought that if she, it would pretty much be her call whether she wanted. I have to double check that. So I think she was kind of like just trying to throw that out there to kind of psych her out. Kind of say, hey, if you're telling the truth, you won't mind getting cross-examined. So I'm not sure whether Megan will ever have to come to court because it's no longer Megan versus Tory Lanez. It's the state. It's Tory Lanez. So I'll have to double check that and get back to you with that. And to answer your question about forgiving Tory Lanez, I've I I've already forgiven because number one, I don't know if he did anything. When people tend just because I'm not out there saying, yeah, Meg's lying, I've been called now a Megan cheerleader. Just because I said I'm gonna wait and see. Now I'm a Megan cheerleader. I'm a Cardi cheerleader. And then just in my show I
You
just had the other
can't.
day, I can't win.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna say like this. We gonna end the show like this. Heaven, if you can, and this is for anybody who's going through anybody on the internet constantly talking mess about them. You cannot control what other people think and how they feel about you. People are gonna say whatever, and you can't control that. You also gotta you gotta be in tune with your star player at the end of the day. You gotta
Right,
believe in what you got going on. You gotta believe in what you stand on, and that's just what it is. It's so easy to go on the internet and type whatever. It's the
right.
easiest
You're
thing. You
right.
could pick up your iPhone right now and you could call me a ugly bitch. You could
Right,
literally do that right now because it's easy and I'm not face to face to you. But I always tell people, keep the same energy if you were to ever see me in public. And they never will. The day
right.
will never happen. I have people who follow me on social media or see me on social media, and the next thing I know, they're on the internet saying, "Hey, I saw you" or whatnot. Okay, you didn't say anything. You didn't say,
Right,
"Hey," what you didn't tell me how you feel. People will never keep the same energy. So people, because I feel like the internet is getting too, it's getting too, it's getting too big. People think the internet is real. It's not real. It's an
yeah.
illusion. That's really what it is. It's an illusion. When I turn up my phone off and I smoke my blunt, I watch my movies, I drink my wine, I do that every night. And then I get on the internet. It's different for me. So stop caring about what's on the internet. Hopefully, the more followers we get, this is a speech that I'm going to continue to say because I want y'all to not give a damn. Like really, really embrace that. When I tell you not
Right.
to give a F, really embrace that. Really not give a F because
I'm gonna start doing that.
people
I
always
I
shooting shots
totally
at
agree.
me and they swear they doing something. They swear they ate, and I just lit up my blunt and continue my day. And you tripping off of me, and I'm not tripping at all. So that's
Right,
literally how it goes. So don't worry. If people calling you a bar fan, be like, I like Cardi. And
right,
if they want to call you Meg Shirley, say I feel like something happened to her that night.
right,
And that's just what it is. I feel like something happened to Meg the Stallion. And I like Cardi
right,
B. I think she's the hottest female rapper rapping right now. And
right.
if you got a problem with it, go see a therapist. That is your problem. I don't care. And that's just what I have to say about it. I pray Meg get whatever justice she deserves, but I do not want to see an innocent man thrown under the bus if he didn't do it.
Absolutely. That's most definitely, and it is the Goat Talk podcast, Heaven Hollywood and Go to Lexus. We're gonna end this podcast, and I'm just gonna say, if Tory Lanez is innocent, then he does not deserve to go down for it. People, oh, I'm going to come back and then you're going to be a part. No, I'm not going to apologize because I never once said that Tory shot Megan. I have never once said that. I
Yes,
said
sir.
I'm going to listen to. I believe something happened to Megan's foot. I never said I believe Tory did it. I didn't say I believe Kelsey did it. I really don't know at this point. So I'm just going to wait until it plays out. I'm not going to try to make no predictions, because we've already seen that this case is all over the place.
But I can't wait until it's over because you know what? This should be over next month, right? I
Yeah.
was planning on going to Miami anyway because that's the time it gets cold here in Georgia. So I would love to go to his ice cream shop before I hit a jet ski and smoke my blunt. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining the Goat Talk podcast. Thank you, go to Lexus. Thank you, thank you, thank you, as I always say. And everybody, make sure you tune into our previous 6 episodes on the IE network. Make sure you check out Go to Lexus. Follow us both on social media. Also, keep up with her podcast and website. And hey, man, it is what it is. And just to all parties involved, I wish peace. And we'll see y'all next time.
Yes, sir. See y'all next Sunday.